Hi everyone, I'm Rhonda and I just want to welcome you to Joy Junktique. I hope you're all doing well and I just am so glad you're here. Today I'm going to show you a project that I did for SamPooleDesigns. I put a lot of work into this, but it was just a really fun project. And it's a little different. It's a little more rustic, a little more shabby, a little more grungy, but I think it fits the nature theme perfectly. And I'm calling this one Nature's Story. So I hope you like it, and I'll just get right into showing you. It actually started out, a piece like this is my base. It's just an old piece of packing paper, and I haven't been able to find any more like this. So I've been really kind of holding on to it for a special project. And this one was folded in a different way, kind of accordion-like. And so I just left it as is. So I envisioned a flip-flop journal with it. And so that's what I did in here. So there's actually 4 signatures. Pretty thick. But I just wanted to do something with nature and just plants and just things like that that remind you of the outdoors. And it is just full of all kinds of goodies and special things. So on the cover I have doilies and I have the sweet little nest, and I added this little feathery yarn to it and these little eggs, and all of this right here is just a wrap so it can come off of the journal so that it's not as bulky. But I just added some little laces and ribbon, and it just wraps around and just kind of covers the back a little bit and just ties. So I have it tying over here on this side. So I'll go ahead and open it. And this is just some really soft little cotton rag strip. So all this just kind of pulls off. So here's the top cover. You can see exactly what it looks like. It's got some little lace and rag strip, some little seam binding ribbon, and I really like this seam binding ribbon. I'll link the shop where I got that. There's a little feather there, a twig, and so I just kind of bunched up some of that seam binding ribbon just to kind of look like leaves. So there's that, and when you take it off, it reveals the cover, which is the same exact image here. Now a lot of the stuff in this journal is from In the Meadow, also from In the Garden, from Garden Memories, her new kits, also the Botanical, just anything that had plants or outdoors, I kind of pull from those. So I'll link all those kits below and you'll know exactly where to go to find these. And so the cover I just left kind of plain since we have the little doily cover to add that ties around. So I just kind of left the cover plain, other than there's just a couple of little leaves that I cut from an old paper doily, so it has a lot of texture, and I just accented the front with that. I had found a stick in my yard that I just really have saved for a special project, so I felt like this was it. And as I bound the book, I just wrapped the twine around the twig so that it's all tied into the binding. So as you look to the side, you can see all kinds of little things sticking out from the side, leaves, and I couldn't resist putting a clover in there with it being spring. So when you open this part, there's actually 4 signatures in this. So when you open this part, this is just like the little mini signature at the front. And so we have story right here, and we have just sweet little pages and pockets. In this pocket, I have one of her from their Botanical kit. And then here I just have a little music tag and some old tape that I had made and one of my little dried flowers from my yard. So those just slip right back into that pocket. And then here we just have some more pages that you can add to. And this is actually a folded piece of paper and I lined the inside with some of that same old doily. And inside I have this photo. I just love this one. I think it's everybody's favorite right now. I just love it. It's so pretty. Such a unique picture. And then on this side, it's another pocket. This sweet little girl outside. And you know, as we all love nature and celebrate nature, especially this time of the year when it's spring and Easter coming up, it's also, I can't help but wonder if maybe nature celebrates us too. Here is a little coin envelope that I just kind of stenciled on. Grow with nature. Inside of it is this tag. It just goes over the top of that. And then in this pocket, I have one of the little clipboards from her new Garden Memories kit. And I had cut out some little leaves, so I just glued them under that clip because she has the little clips separate where you can cut them out separate. So when you glue them on and you don't glue the top, it looks like a real little clip there. But I just glued those little leaves right under there. So here I just have some of this kind of packing paper that I had also gessoed and made a belly band out of it. So I have this card, "It's no bad thing to celebrate a simple life." Added some leaves to that to give it some dimension. And then I had this tag, and that's where the clover is. And the clover I did to where it kind of holds this tag in there. I just kind of slid it to where it hooks on that little belly band. Okay, I also added a little bit of lace right here, and then also this tiny little dangle. It's an old rusty bell and this tiny little tag. So here on this side, the way the paper is folded, it actually has little folds here and there that can be used as tucks. So I just took advantage of that. I added some more of that seam binding ribbon and a leaf. And then here's 3 tags that slide underneath this little lace pocket. This one I added a feather. That tag. This one I just added a little flower with a brad and a leaf. So those tuck right back under there. This, I got 2 of these little goodie bags when I ordered something a long time ago, and they were stitched up with all kinds of little ephemera in them, which was a really good idea. So I just glued them together so that they could be a page on each end. So here I added another flower, I added this tiny little tag to this rusty safety pin, and then inside this bag I have some of her little postcards. Very sweet. And I just ran that little safety pin through the little stitch holes that were still left on there. On this side, I have another little side tuck here, and I have this postcard, and I just added a feather. To me, this book just is kind of like a collection of all the little nature memories and kind of tells a story. This is just a little glassine envelope that I put some of those little dried flowers from my yard. And here's a belly band I used with one of the pieces. And then I just stapled these 2 together so that you can have a place to journal. I used a lot of rusty staples in this, and I just hooks back over that. Here's a little strip of burlap ribbon that I thought would add a little bit more of a rustic element. And here's a piece of my embossed toilet paper. Did some more stenciling. This is just a little tuck spot for a sweet picture. I have copy dyed pages here. This is actually an original piece from an old ledger. Here's some more of that piano roll paper that I just glued together. I folded it up and glued it together so it'd be sturdier. And then I just tucked some little tiny tags down in one of these little slits from the paper. And then over here I did 2 more on this side. There's some really pretty papers in these kits. So this, I just took advantage of the little tape that was in the design and just folded it over and glued it and just made it a little flip. And this right here, I stapled on just some brown wax paper from an old wax bag. Underneath it, I just put a die cut. Here's some more stenciling. And then this is just a little cloth bag that I thought would be sweet to put in here. And I just attached this photo. And underneath there, I had stamped it. Let me show you. I just really lightly stamped it with one of Sam's stamps. And it's in like the robin's egg blue color. So it just adds a little bit of color to that. And so inside this little bag, I just have some of her Polaroids of nature. Very pretty. And then on this side, I just took an old rusty safety pin and I added a sweet little tag. Here's the other side of those bags I was telling you about. And so I just added one of her die cuts that I did out of a tea bag. And then I added some of my die cut leaves and another little tag there. And so inside of this one, I have this pretty journaling card. And there's the back side of that. So this is the end of this signature. And so I just put a little lace belly band here. And I love this image too. I think I used Lazy Days too, that kit also, but I'll list them all below. So I just added a little leaf to that. And this is an envelope that I stenciled a little bit. Inside of it, I have this card. And then I have this journaling card. I added a little scrap of fabric here. And then I have a little dangle here. Little bird's eggs and a little heart charm. So then this will be the third signature. Here I just added a die cut just to add a few little leaves there. And then this is a pocket. This picture is glued down, but it's a pocket for this tag. And then up here I have another little dangle on this side with a cute little bird charm. Hope you can see that. And the little eggs. Here I just had another little dried flower and a little tag. And this is a folded up piece of paper that made a pocket. And in here I just have this little envelope. And I added a little bit of seam binding to the top of it. Here I have another little dried flower and a book page and a tag. Here is just a little frame I had that I put on top of that picture with some brads and then stapled it there. So you could kind of use this as a tuck if you wanted to. Here's some more of that napkin that I had embossed. And just some of one of Sam's digitals here, a book page, and I just ran it through my little paper crimper. Here's 2 more tags. Pretty flower. Music page, and on this I didn't want to, I wanted to leave something different in the middle of this one, so I just folded it up to where you could open up the whole page. And I added some dried flowers there too. So there's a big spot to journal on. Or you could glue them together and make pockets if you wanted. Here is a little snippet from one of her kits, and I just made it a flip up. Added this little tab here. And then on this side, I have that tiny little envelope, and it's a tuck. Another little tag there. There's just some brown paper. And I used one of Sam's dies here and just added a piece of it. I kind of made it look rusty. And then added this tag. Here's the other side of that folded up paper that has the pocket in it. And so here I have a tag that I just slipped underneath that paper clip. And then this is a little booklet I made from one of her wage envelopes. And I don't know if you can see it, I kind of stenciled a little bit on there just to give it a little bit of that naturey look. Added some seam binding ribbon, rusty paper clips. And so I just made 2 of these. I printed out 2 of these wage envelopes, the same size. And I glued them together. And so you have a pocket here, and you can take this off and open it that way. And I just put some of the little journaling cards in there, her little botanical cards. And then here I just wanted to make it like a little journal. So I just filled it full of paper, and this is actually the backing sheets in one of Sam's kits. And so I just did them front and back. And so I just made a whole little journal out of it, full of pages. And then on the back side I added another clover there, and used one of those little clips that you can cut out the clip itself and add it to the top. So I just glued this little clover underneath that clip like I did the other piece. And then this slips off, it's just a journaling tag. And here's some more of that fabric with little rosebuds. Oh, that's something else I didn't tell you. The fabric already had the rosebuds on it, but I printed one of Sam's documents on top of it. And I thought it turned out cool. I think I did this in the video where I showed how I print on fabric, but I'm not positive. But I wanted to add a little bit of this to this journal. So that's where that came from. So slide that back under there. And then on the back side, I have another pocket back here. And you can take that clip off as well to get to it. And just some more of those beautiful cards. And I had used one of her stamps for the front. So then I just clip this inside that little pocket like that, and then this tucks under there. So that is the last of the third signature, and then I made a big lace pocket back here, and I added this sweet little dangle. Hope you can see that. Got a little key. And then in the pocket here, I stapled one of her tags. And this is just a piece of coffee dyed paper that I used one of my plant, I don't know what you call it. It's just like this big plastic plant, and it sits flat. I use it to coffee dye, and it gives a really pretty effect. So I just folded that up and put it in this pocket. Okay, so now we're to the back, and here I just added some seam binding ribbon under there so that you could slide this under. And it's one of Sam's documents that I printed on cardstock, and it's just a nice journaling spot. And I used one of my dies in embossing folders. It has an embossing folder and the die that goes with it. And so I just distressed it a little bit with my ink, and that slips back in here. Just like that. Okay, so now we're to the back signature, the back inside. And it doesn't want to lay really flat because it's so full, but you can always take and just fold this out like this. So here I have a little butterfly just attached to the top up there. And I have this little picture that I just added some lace and some of those tiny little old flowers. And I just stapled that to the top of another wage envelope. And inside of it is some more of those botanical cards. Beautiful. And so that tucks up under there. And then I just love these little torn envelopes that she has. And this is in the new Garden Memories kit. So what I did is I printed them twice and cut out the little piece that you can see. I just cut that part out and attached it so that you could have a little pocket. And I just put some little dried flowers in there and put a little flower and a leaf up there. And then in the other part, you can flip this around and get to these two cute little tags. So I really like those. I'll be using these a lot. Alright, so inside this signature, we have different pages. Here is a little envelope I made with a die I have, and then this is just some of that handmade paper that has the actual leaves and stuff in it. So I added some of that. But this little envelope I printed from one of her kits. And then I have this little tag that I cut out. And I just recently got this seal, and it says Standard Paper Company. And so I just added that to this little tag. And then I added this little circle to keep it closed. But I put it over this, so I just put a paper clip on it. So here's another little journaling spot. This section has a lot of butterflies. Here's a little tuck spot. Here's another piece of that coffee dyed leaf pattern I did. Music paper that I ran through my crimper. More of that ledger page. Coffee dyed paper. Tag. Here's just the Tim Holtz embossing cut folders, and this was just a little heart. I just put on both sides. There's another little tuck spot I made for this picture. And I love this backing she has, that foxing. It's so pretty. And then here I just put a piece of lace as a little tuck spot. And there's the other side of that front cover. And so this is a little postcard. A couple of tags. Here's a little cluster I made with a photo. And then here I just took one of the journaling tags and stapled these little scrap pieces for a little notepad. So that all just tucks underneath this lace. Like that. And so this folds back like this. And this folds back like that. And so it's just full of all kinds of goodies. It's kind of a soft journal, but it's sturdied up pretty good. So then this just lays on the top. And I made it to where it could tie on this side, so this just wraps around to the back, and then this just ties around it like that. And so you can pull it pretty tight and hold it together. So there is my project, and I hope you enjoyed everything that I did. It's a little different, a little bit more grungy and rustic, but I just really enjoyed doing something different for this one. So go and find all those kits that I have linked below and see what you can create with them, because they are really, really pretty, and I know you'll be inspired. So I hope y'all have a wonderful day. Thank y'all for being here with me today. I appreciate all your support and just you taking time to spend with me today. So thanks so much, and I will see you next time. God bless.